I've been incredibly busy lately, and even with Benedicta in Africa preparing for a mission, it seems the days are never long enough. But the other night, I deliberately took a break from my normal workload and spent the better part of the evening working on a collage that had been created for me by my son Joel. The collage features pictures of me and my children from various times in our lives. It had fallen apart, and the pictures coming loose from the frame, and it needed some TLC. So on a quiet Tuesday evening, I put everything aside and spent several hours putting that collage back together in such a way that it would stay together for decades rather than days. It was slow work, but I enjoyed the time. It wasn't just the work I was doing, it was what that work represented. Many years of memories of being a dad to 5 special children. Those pictures represented years of activities, laughter, trips, homework, settling disputes, sitting down at countless meals, going to school and sports events, administering discipline, and sometimes being frustrated by their childishness. But what else could you expect from children? In short, all the things that go with being a parent. My child-raising days are finished. I'll never again play basketball with my sons, never again ground my kids for misbehaving, never again attend a parent-teachers conference, and never again debate with my children over the amount of their allowance or reprimand them for getting home too late. All those things are memories, quickly fading into the distant past. I do still counsel them occasionally, but only if they want it, and I try to limit the extent of my advice. They're all adults now, and they need to make their own decisions and live by them. But my children have given me a very precious gift. They've filled my heart with memories, beautiful, pleasant memories of those special days when my wife and I were up to our necks in all the concerns and busyness that go hand in hand with raising little human beings from infancy to adulthood. I'll never forget Joy as a young teenager about ready to walk out the door after she was supposed to be in bed, and then when she was caught, she pretended that she was sleepwalking. Nor can I forget playing video football games with Josh at his bedtime. I made him a deal that if he could beat me, he could stay up an hour later, and he usually did. And I'll always remember Joel and how he loved to take things apart. He always had a mechanical aptitude, but in those early days, he was much better at taking things apart than putting things back together. Nor will I forget Bethany when she was playing hide and seek with her older siblings. She was it and had to count up to something or other before seeking them. But the problem was she didn't yet know how to count, and so she cried out over and over again, 1440, 1440, 1440. And one of the funniest scenes in Pollock family history was when Jordan, our youngest, who was probably about 6 or 7 years old at the time, had become furious with his older brother Joel. Convinced that he was lying about something, and remembering how I had told them during Bible studies that lying is a sin and that liars would not go to heaven, Jordan practiced a little theology on his older brother, screaming at him with a red face and angry tears in his eyes, "Liars go to hell! Liars go to hell!" My goals for my children have not been complicated. I've never been a tiger dad, insisting that my kids must excel above everyone else in school or become famous scientists or doctors. My one overriding and all-predominant goal for each of my 5 children has always been the same, that they might truly know Jesus Christ, follow His will, and be present with Him on that day when He gathers His children to Himself. I desperately want all 5 present and accounted for. I've taken them to church, we've had home Bible studies with them, sent them to church camps, taken them to youth meetings, encouraged or sometimes discouraged various peer relationships, all toward that one end. My desire for my children is found in a slight paraphrase of the Apostle Paul's words, that they may know Jesus and the power of His resurrection and the fellowship of His sufferings, being conformed to His death, if by any means they may attain to the resurrection from the dead.